Hey, everybody out there on YouTube. Welcome to the pre-show cocktail hour. We are the Baby Carrot Boys. I'm Jay. To my left, I've got Aaron.
Heyo.
To my other left, I got Tony.
Hello, hello.
A little later, we're going to be talking about Ash versus Evil Dead. This is kind of like our off-topic section. This is a YouTube exclusive where we all have a little drink before we get into the show proper. And I've got a literal refrigerator full of beers next to me, which I think Ash would be proud of.
Nice.
And I'm going to start drinking some out of this little glass boot, with I think Ash would also be proud of. So, cheers, boys.
Are you DOS booting it? Make sure you turn it.
Zip up.
Zip bubble.
Zip
No, it's a real thing. Like it's it doesn't explode in your face like it does in the movie, but like it'll like glug 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 up in a way that's not good.
That's funny. No, that's great.
Prost.
It's also like it's also much simpler in real life, where like you just drink it like to the side rather than like straight on. You know, like you don't have to dramatically rotate the boot as they taught in that documentary.
Yes, definitely documentary.
I love facts, and what's more factual than Broken Lizard?
Just call me Landfill 2.
Yeah. Well, how are you boys doing on a Sunday night?
I'm doing pretty good. Me and Christy pickled some of our own like leftover cabbage from a salad that we made, and I just threw some on a pretty delicious panini style sandwich, and very purple. Like that, the purple in that cabbage kind of like permeates everything it touches, but actually really fucking good.
That sounds good.
Is all pickled cabbage sauerkraut, or is there different types of
No,
pickled cabbage?
that sauerkraut specifically is fermented cabbage, and you gotta like go through a fermentation process, takes longer, whereas you can just do like pickled cabbage in an evening, and then the next day it's ready to eat.
Today I learned.
And then there's like kimchi, right? That's another type of fermented cabbage. So we're definitely into the whole like millennial fermenting, making your own shit phase right now.
I could never get into the kimchi.
Oh, that's too bad. I love kimchi.
Yeah, I love kimchi. My dad was always into like finding weird restaurants as a kid and taking us to them. And so like early on, I went and had like dol salt bibimbap. Which is like hot stone bowl that they put rice and meat and everything into, and they always serve it with like the 7 different like accoutrements that come in Korean food, you know, like the glass noodles and kimchi like cucumber and stuff. So I found that I loved all those crazy and wonderful flavors very early on.
Hells yeah, man. Did you ever go to Wacko Roll in Wacko?
No, I didn't go there. There is like one of the best dol salt bibimbap places in DFW is off Harry Hines at Korea House. Like hands down, big recommend. I haven't ever eaten anything else there but the dol salt bibimbap, but that is killer there.
Oh man, we should go sometime.
Hell yeah!
Because I was introduced to bibimbap in the same place I was introduced to you, which was Wacko, Texas.
This is gonna be way better.
Yeah, no, I love that part of town because I love going to family karaoke.
Yeah, it's not that far from family karaoke, so
we gotta go. I haven't been since like pre-pandemic.
Dude, we obviously bim bim bop into karaoke. Hello. Can we get our own songs loaded into the karaoke machine? Because I have definitely been AI creating my entire soundtracks over here.
There's got to be a way to do it.
There's got to be a way.
What about you, Tony? What you up to tonight?
Nothing. The pod. Live for the pod. Die for the pod. Come back through the rift for the pod.
A foot in both worlds, but at least a foot here in the show.
I will say that I rushed home because I just finished a Warhammer 40k match like at 6:40 and like had to pack up and get back to the house before we started. So this has been a crazy ass day over here. 1-2 kicked ass in it.
Good, did you win?
Yeah, I'm in my league. Nice. I've had 8 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. Like I'm fucking stomping.
So is it like you say league? Is there like standings and you keep track and stuff?
So it's a Crusade League. Crusade is an ongoing narrative where, like, based off of the outcomes of the 3 factions battles, it pushes the story forward. I'm on the chaos, like, bad guys side, and we're doing some pretty decent mess up of the Imperium's plans. And then there's also Xenos out there just kind of mucking about doing stuff as well. So it's like building a narrative, but the cool thing is like D&D in that your units gain level ups and then additional battle traits, which are just basically like, I think like one of the abilities on like your character sheet or on the unit sheet. It's like adding new ones to them. But then if they die in battle, you roll an out action test and they may get a battle scar, which will have like a negative effect on it. So like you like kind of get stronger and take battle scars as the game goes on. And then have to keep on like, fighting out, duking the battles out. But, it's really fun. A lot of cool guys I've met through it. But, we've got 3 weeks left of games before this one ends and we start the next one. And GW Games Workshop has released 2 new Crusade books this year alone. And so getting into this hobby right now, and then them throwing a bunch of support into this way of playing has been super cool because a lot of new toys and new things to do.
That sounds like so much fun. Man, I'm envious.
Obviously, I have enough work so you can just play with us.
I should sometime. That should be fun.
So we'll figure it out. But yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun with that. But dude, I've been like, I live out on the sticks now, so it's like a 45-minute drive to get to where everybody meets.
Sure. Well, I'm glad you made it, and if you will indulge me, I've got a little game show to play for the cocktail hour. And this is somewhat Evil Dead inspired. I'm going to call it Deadite or Not Deadite. And I'm going to give you a celebrity, and you're going to tell me if they're dead or not. And bonus point for if they're dead, if you can tell me what year they died.
Oh, damn.
I'm going to be horrible at this game.
Now, this is Whose Line Is It Anyway point scoring system, so keep that in mind.
Okay. Very, very serious. Got it.
All right. So, number 1 may or may not be easy for you. How about Mr. William Shatner?
He's alive.
Tony?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, 2 points for both of you. I actually saw him in the flesh, not Deadite, just about a month ago.
I was going to say, he hasn't Shatnered himself yet, so.
No. Not quite yet. All right, round 2. Liza Minnelli.
Liza died. Yeah, Liza died. The only reason I know that is...
Unfortunately, happy birthday, Liza. She is 79 years old.
No way. I thought Oh, Lucille 1 died, not Lucille 2.
The other Lucy?
Lucille. Remember, it's Lucille 1 and Lucille 2 from Arrested Development? The mom of Arrested Development passed away.
My bad. Yeah, we did lose Jessica Walter, unfortunately. All right, round 3. Chance for redemption. Regis Philbin.
Regis is still alive.
Right?
Oh, we lost Regis in 2020.
No!
Oh, he was a anti-vaxxer.
Yeah. Vaxxed?
Shh.
All right, how about
answer?
Bernie Mac?
He's been dead for a long time.
I didn't even hear the name. I was laughing.
Bernie Mac.
Oh, Bernie Mac
is back,
died
no
2004.
Not 2004, because he was in Transformers, so...
Oh, 2008.
That was like a 2000. I'm guessing 2010.
Aaron got it on the head, 2008.
I only know because I watched through the Bernie Mac show, like, shortly thereafter. I was like, oh, I missed this one. This was good.
All right. I think this is now number 5. Mel Brooks.
Alive. Oh, yeah. Old as dirt, but alive. Right? Yep.
Correct. 99 and kicking.
99? Oh, my God.
99. What a... Boy.
If I make it into the 80s,
right,
I'm going to consider that, like, a big success.
A win?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. How about Mr. Michael Clark Duncan?
He died.
Yeah,
I know he died.
Yeah. In memoriam.
2012.
Yeah, I had no idea when, but I remember he died.
How about another Star Trek alum, Leonard Nimoy?
Nimoy died shortly after the last one, the last movie, right?
Let's say 2013.
Yeah, that lines up. It's 2015.
Dang.
Yeah, he's a deadite. All right, this one might seem easy at first, but you might have to think about it. How about George Lopez?
George Lopez is alive. I feel like I feel like I've seen his face recently in a special. I think he's alive. I don't know, but I think
he's alive, but
Tones.
the tricky start of the question makes me question myself, but I'll lock in with alive.
You're both correct. Alive at 64, Mr. George Lopez.
Now, if it was Carlos Mencia's career, that died way long ago.
Long ago. Yeah, that's going to be like 2002, right?
When Joe Rogan called him out for stealing a joke.
Was that Joe Rogan?
Yeah, Joe Rogan was the one that fucking brought down Mencia.
He, like, basically since the 90s, he's like pop culture Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
He just keeps, like, popping up. God. I hate it. All right. Next to last, Mr. Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke's 100 something. He's alive.
He's still alive?
I think Dick Van Dyke's alive.
I'm gonna go dead. Deadite.
Ooh. Aaron's got this one. He is 99, turning 100 this December.
Him and Mel Brooks hanging out.
He missed some award show this year because he was under the weather, and it was like news that Dick Van Dyke didn't make it to the award show. That's the only reason why my brain's like pumping on that vein.
And for our final round, television legend, Bob Saget.
Bob Saget's dead.
Well, I have to say alive just to make up for I'm behind right now. So either lose
I look
big
forward to
or
pulling
win.
that drop of Bob Saget's dead.
That's a great job.
Yes, Bob. Unfortunately, we lost Mr. Saget in 2022. It was something weird about like
He
slipped and
fell, hit
in
his head in a hotel, and then he didn't want to go to the ER, and then he died in his sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Very sad.
Yep.
So rest in power to you, Bob.
At least he recorded all of his How I Met Your Mother lines before that.
Oh yeah, thank God.
With AI, do you really think they need him anymore?
Well, the show's been gone. It's been done for a long time too.
I just know I have a buddy who's like had to do some like movies for this children's theater, and one of the kids they needed to bring back in to do some voiceover work to fix some stuff. Kid went through puberty, so they had to take the movie and AI with permission, the kid's voice, to fill in the stuff that was messed up.
Oh, stop me right here at the beginning of this thing. Did we talk about last time, like music? Like my thinking of like, why not just willingly build the best version of like AI voice of yourself if you're a singer? Like use your own voice recordings when you sounded the best to generate an AI to make new music for yourself. So you're not like, did I already say this before last time?
No, this is interesting
because like you're doing it for yourself, and like your album will be you'll probably screw yourself over for live performances, but like you'll keep making great album/radio streaming music.
The Beatles didn't do any live shows like the second half of their entire career, so like you don't have to tour to be successful or famous. Now to make money.
This is now.
I was gonna say, well, I'm just saying, famous and successful people like streamers. Like there's that one streamer that created an AI version of himself and have it doing episodes while he was offline and kept making content. So like, just saying.
We're already in the dead internet, right?
The weird world of tomorrow.
So you're saying we could just have the show make itself?
At some point, yes. Theoretically, we could just like give our opinions into to three AI like bots with our voice and just have them talk it out. Like you definitely would. I think that's
just
definitely
kind of a summary of what I thought about the show, and then just send the AI off to.
No, what you do is you give like 5 ideas, and then you have the AI script out the entirety of what you said, and you like do that 3 times, and then you say take these 3 things and turn it into a conversation between these 3 people. Then here's the voice for each person. Boom. It's more complicated than that, but make your own roadshow.
Like it would definitely be better than the real show, right?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Less chaotic.
No, you don't think
could
so?
not be the genuine, wacky, funny moments we have, but maybe that's for the best.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go.
With your worthless chime ass.
Yeah, they're not going to know how to do drops at all. You know?
Yeah. Is that the new era of luckily we missed the social media where like we didn't have to get depressed by seeing good-looking people all over our phones, like feeling bad about ourselves in like the formative years of our youth, compared to like kids now. Like, is that the new future where it's like the AI version of you is more popular than the real life version of you? So you're like, damn, not even as cool as my AI podcast bot.
I mean, I think that the bigger thing is that, like, in the same way that music is an eternal culture, that new artists have to compete with the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Madonna and all this stuff. I think that the thing that's going to be weird is that its potential, the ability to have eternal culture for, like, oh, there's a AI George Carlin that is writing new material and they've got an AI voiceover that's telling it. And now there's a 24-hour channel of AI George Carlin, or, you know, other shows that they couldn't make because someone passed away. Now they can theoretically do. I think that we're still farther away from that, but I think that within our lifetime, like you think about this, imagine if you're like, you know what? I'm going to make a movie for my family to watch tonight and have the AI generate it. And I want these types of stories, these types of actors, these types of, you know, jokes and all that. And then AI generate it. And then you sit down with your family and you're watching a movie that no one's ever seen before with all of your own characters. It's just like telling a story to your kid at night. It's just now you can do it through AI generated video. Shit like that.
Oh, we can't even imagine.
I can only imagine.
Oh no!
This the karaoke is starting
don't
already.
Put that in my brain.
I'm just like everything that happens. I've felt this way for a long time. Just I'm so glad. I mean, maybe I don't like the way the world is right now, but like I'm so glad I was born at the time I was born. As far as like,
I'm so glad.
Up, like would I play outside now as a kid? Hell no, dude. I'd be playing video games, watching Bluey all day. Like, I'm glad I didn't have another choice. Like, and then I'm also glad I was young enough when like the internet and all the rapid like smartphone advances came out to where like I'm sure I'm way behind on generative AI stuff, but like in general, I feel like I can understand stuff. So I don't know. It's like a perfect mix.
There are two things. One, we are a generation that intuitively, when something is not like authentic or is AI generated, it you can see it. Like, we've seen enough of the internet for so long that you're like, oh, that's AI generated. My father-in-law was not able to tell whether or not some of the videos he was sending me and Christy were AI generated or not. And I don't know if you've seen it. There's a comedian named Ronnie. Is it Ronnie Chang? I can't remember. But he was like, you know, you can't learn this skill. Like unless you just like live through it, like you can't learn this skill for some reason. And that's what I'm worried about. Like the next generation is they're never going to see like that transitionary period. They're just going to be exposed to all the AI generated stuff. Is going to be harder to tell. But I just want to say there were a lot of people that disappeared in the 80s. Like I don't think things are theoretically or necessarily safer or worse today. Like from that perspective, I think that people have created a much more insulated culture. And so like when something bad happens, that's like, you know, it's much more overblown and shown on every single Instagram. And it's just viral and all this stuff. When's the last time you saw a missing kid on a milk carton? Like we just get Amber Alerts every once in a while, you know, on our phones. And that to me, like that's kind of part of bad people, good people all living together. So I think that that's one of the things is like you also have to like teach these kids how to live in the real world. You got to give them an opportunity to fail safely. You got to give them a place where they can have both good and bad experiences. And I think that far too much of the American parenting has been about only giving kids a good childhood. But a good childhood means you skin your knee and you know that, that didn't hurt as bad. I can survive that, as opposed to these, you know, generation of kids that need their mom and dad to go with them to a job interview.
You know who's the worst helicopter parent?
Grandparents.
Kobe Bryant.
Previously on the show.
Do you guys you tell your hairdresser all the, you know, random drama that you're involved with, right?
If I could pay extra to not have to speak during my haircut, I 100% would.
Jay, you know that scene in the never-ending story whenever like everything's collapsing because they're filled with the nothing.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I picture all of the people involved in this show.
It's like, I think it's all reality TV shows. Like, eventually you start caring about the storylines, even though they're so stupid.
What is the lowest score on the scale, like officially?
I'd rather watch Siesta Key than Chasing Kelsey.
Going to the wheel of Randemonium.
Let's go on a trip together.
I'm not here because I need the money or I need the exposure or I really need anything. I'm just here because I'm bored and I want to fuck with you people. Hello, hello, and you're watching The Show, the world's most dangerous TV review podcast. Warmest greetings and welcome to episode 77. We are the Baby Carrot Boys, the Bookhouse Boys, the Disgusting Brothers, if you will. Join us as we celebrate the 2015 comedy horror series from Starz that premiered on Halloween night 10 years ago. Get those dope glazed eyes off me and back on that TV, you murdering perverts. This time on The Show, Ash versus Evil Dead. I would like to welcome you inside the broadcast booth live from Elk Grove, Michigan. I'm Jay. I'm joined as always by my two Hall of Famers. To my left, it's the show's resident brujo. He always brings the buena medicina. It's Aaron.
Hey now.
And to my other left, with the most powerful vagina of them all, it's Tony.
Hello.
Here at the Show, 100% customer satisfaction is our holy grail. We want to hear from you. Check out our Instagram for news about the show, including our upcoming tour, convention, and cruise, along with plenty of other bonus content. You can find us at the Show Pod. You can send your emails to the Show TV podcast at gmail.com. We've got a Discord, and as soon as I figure that out, I will invite you, I guess. You can find me individually at jsuesponte. Aaron, where can we find you?
On the Must Go verse, at Tenacious Aaron. Still exists. I did check on it recently, so we're still there.
Beautiful. How about you, Tony?
Just really on Instagram, at tpinquite. Now I'm going to get doxxed.
The Swifties are coming. We haven't even released it yet. They're coming. But the Show is now available everywhere podcasts are sold. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Audible, Castbox, Overcast, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public. You can check out our YouTube channel where we do a bonus pre-show cocktail hour. Check out this week for Deadite or Not Deadite. Before we down a big glass of pink fuck, we must first visit the unofficial scoreboard. This is the part of the show where we share our thoughts on other diversions not selected by the great Wheel of Randemonium. So, boys, it's been a couple weeks since we've been sat around the pod table. What you guys been up to lately?
Tony?
Just games, really. Play a little bit of the new Diablo season. I just started up Cyberpunk 2077 again. I think it's definitely like... It's pretty much... It's my third time I've solidified it as like my number one game of all time, so... Oh, it's because I upgraded my PC, by the way. So, got a new 5070 Ti up from a
nice
3000 series, so I get some cool frame gen and other upscaling features that I didn't have before. And it looks so good. I don't know if it's running at a high frame rate, but I turned on like path tracing and the game just looks so good. And the game by itself is good too, so.
High recommend. Very good game. Love that.
On the anime front, there's this new one called Lord of Mysteries. It's Chinese, I think. It's got like crazy high animation, like frames per second or whatever. Like, I don't know what. Just like they're throwing a crazy amount of money on it. I have no idea what's going on, but it's pretty good.
Well, I know Solo Leveling kind of has broken like Korea into the more mainstream discussion on anime. So maybe they're trying to do that too with China. I don't know a whole lot of Chinese anime that has really hung in there with the plethora of Japanese anime that's out there.
Have y'all followed up with the second season of Dandadan?
I'm actively watching it right now. Like me and Christy have kept up every episode. And
how is it?
I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely got this unique kind of like supernatural, crazy rocker, awesome meets slice of life. Like, there's definitely like moments where it's like the anime just kind of becomes a slice of life anime at times. And it's really this unusual, I guess, fusion of these different anime genres in my mind. But, I mean, straight up, like, scene for scene, Back to the Future reference, that was excellent. There's been some really great animation and fight sequences. And the show, I don't know, just keeps on delivering, in my opinion. So I again, would recommend. It's a worthy watch. It's very well done. Both English and Japanese is fantastic. We're also on other anime watching Demon Slayer because Christy kept on was like, we need to watch Demon Slayer. This looks really good. I want to watch it. So we've been watching that. We're like, I don't know, episode 18 or 19. Like we're getting close to the end of the first season. And
that's where it gets
I can't
good.
remember. The only thing about the show that I will say that gives a bit much, and we're watching in English, so that may also be a factor on it, but orange-haired kid. Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh, Zenitsu, the annoying as fuck.
Oh,
He
God.
never gets less
like,
annoying, but...
that's what everyone says.
He has his very few select moments, though, so... It does get more tolerable somehow. He doesn't get less annoying, but somehow I guess you just grow to tolerate it more.
It's just that, like, you go through, like, an entire episode of whining and crying and screaming and, all this stuff to have a 30-second epic, like, one-shot. So, that's the only thing in the show that has really grinded my gears. But outside of that, the show's been fantastic. Very good storytelling, very good animation. Obviously, if you haven't been watching it, I don't know what you're doing. The new South Park season has started and has just been absolutely hilarious. And I think it's really funny all the people who like were like, why is South Park making fun of us?
The Nazis.
And it's like, well, because they make fun of everybody, guys. Like, where have you been?
It's your turn.
Yeah, it's your turn now. You're in charge. So, like, the ripping on Trump, the tiny penis, the militarization of DC, Christy Nome killing a dog every time she turns around. Absolutely fucking hilarious. And they've just delivering classic South Park style, especially after getting $1.5 billion from Paramount to get back on their streaming service. So that has been excellent. I did get Elden Ring Night Rain and have started playing that with a buddy, and that is pretty fun. Tony, if you haven't played that, it's like Elden Ring meets.
I have not. I was interested in it, but
Elden Ring meets
it's like a roguelike
Fortnite.
Co-op, basically.
Yeah. But also with like the Fortnite shrinking like battlefield mechanic. One of the things I found when trying to play multiplayer Elden Ring, just the entire design and system and philosophy of that is garbage. Just hot, shitty, flaming garbage. Like you can't pair up and play the whole game together. You have to like pair up to fight a boss or run around and do something. But every time you get to a point that you need to restore your life, you have to like disconnect and reconnect every time. It's just miserable. But this seamless, great.
Oh, okay.
No. Night Rain is great. It's
the regular
you just
game,
jump into a party. Yeah, this is a great way to both get in a little Elden Ring action and have an arcadey experience where, oh, you didn't spend the last 4 days grinding mobs in one alleyway of Elden Ring to be at the same level so we could go fight this boss. Well, this is like, oh, we're all together, we're all playing, we're all leveling, we're all getting stuff together. Sweet. Kill bosses. What about you, Jay?
Ash took up quite a lot of my leisure time, but if I have the court reporter read back the transcript of the last episode, I do remember that extra credit was offered for anyone who watched a Sam Raimi trilogy.
I definitely watched all three of them and the show.
Well, I took in Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, nice.
Funny, technical, but not the spirit of the challenge.
Well, it starred Bruce Campbell, and Ted Raimi was in, I'm pretty sure, all three. So
it's fair.
I feel it should count.
I'll give you half points.
Man, I did not remember how much Dashboard Confessional was in those movies. Like that was a blast from the past.
And they wonder why Spider-Man 3 is awful.
What happened to that? There was so much hype for that movie, and then it just fell so flat.
My theory has always been, and I don't know that it pans out long term, but that they had too many bad guys in that movie. They just needed to do Venom. And honestly, or you needed to do Venom in movie 4 and like just do the setup for Venom in this one, you know, and then, or in that one in 3, and then do like the Sandman or whatever. But the Sandman's such a shitty bad guy to choose. Like, it was just not a good choice. Everyone was there for fucking Venom. And Venom was like 1/5 of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mess up with wacky emo Spider-Man. Like, they should have had emo Spider-Man, but not like a wacky emo Spider. And then they also like retconned the death of the Uncle Ben. Like, made it to the Sandman. That's what messed everything up.
It was really clumsy the way that they just like shoehorned Sandman in there with it. Mm-hmm. And stop me if you guys are the ones who told me this, but I heard that apparently the long-term plan was that Bruce Campbell was going to be a villain in the never-made Spider-Man 4.
I have not heard that.
Oh, really?
Because you see him in like each of the 3 movies as a different character. Because he's like in the first one, he's the ring announcer who gives him his name before he goes into the cage match. And then
I know he's like a bellhop or something in one of them, right? Or like a hotel doorman or something.
Yeah, that might have been the I can't remember exactly what he was in the second one, but in the third one, he's the maitre d' at the fancy restaurant when he's trying to propose to MJ in the, ooh, how'd that get in there?
So he was intended to be Mysterio in number 4, but they didn't end up going forward with it. But that was the plant, and that was the plan, was for him to ultimately be revealed as Mysterio.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
interesting.
Cool. Has he, like, okay, this is my ignorance right here, because, like, I know he was in the Evil Dead movies, even though I haven't really seen them, and I've obviously watched the show, but, like, and I remember him from the Spider-Man movies, but has he been in any other sort of, like, large-scale movies? Or just he's kind of, like,
Bubba
off?
Hotep?
What?
Bubba Hotep, where he's a Elvis impersonator in an old folks' home, and someone brings a mummy back to life in the old folks' home, and he has to fight it. I don't know that counts as big budget, but I definitely remember it. Let's see here.
That's a bonus episode waiting to happen right there.
He's in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, dang. I just because watching the show, I felt like he could have been in other things. Like, I'm just saying like a great dramatic actor or something, or an action movie star, but like he has a good look and a good voice, and obviously like comedic timing and stuff. Like, I feel like
he's got tons of voice acting, tons of cameos. I don't see him as I don't see him as a main character in anything big budget at all. Like, it's always like Spider-Man is like he's a side person, he's an extra, effectively. But he's got a lot.
I'm wondering if he's a victim of typecasting, where he's so associated with Ash that it's hard for him to break out.
He's 172 acting credits, so
he's like, what's his face? Like the guy that's J.J. Abrams' friend that's always in all of J.J. Abrams' movies. He was on Heroes.
Chris Pine?
Matt Parkman, like the cop guy. You know what I'm talking about, that guy? Or what was the guy? I don't know what his character name was on Heroes, but he could like do mental stuff, and I think he was a cop on Heroes. And then he's just like a random character in all of J.J. Abrams' movies. I'll Google it up somewhere.
I bet it's like the kind of thing where if I saw him, I'd be like, oh, yeah. Like,
You keep saying Heroes, and like, I can't. Oh, I remember the kind of hefty guy? The kind of hefty guy?
Yeah, he's kind of like, heavier.
Greg Grunberg.
Yeah, Greg, yeah. Matt Parkman. Hey, I had his name right.
I remember, I forgot.
Yeah, he's like in Star Wars, and I think he's in other random JJ movies.
He is.
Kind of like the Bruce Campbell in the Sam Raimi movies.
Well, this is, I think Aaron said in the last episode, one of your favorite shows of all time. So, Aaron, tell us about Ash vs. Evil Dead. What the hell did we watch?
All right. Well, picture this. It's been 30 years since the end of the last movie. 30 years since the cabin. 30 years since the chainsaw. And what has our hero, Ashley J. Williams, been doing? Has he been defending mankind? Honing his skills? No. He's been hiding. Working at a dead-end job at the Value Stop, living in a trailer park, lying about how he lost his hand, and using the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead, to impress women he wants to sleep with. And in one glorious, stupid stone moment, he does it again. He reads from the book and unleashes the Kandarian evil back onto the world. That is the brilliant, boneheaded premise of our show, and I love this show. whenever I got into horror, like at all, it was with Evil Dead. My family didn't watch horror getting in, like when I was growing up. We were a comedy, action, adventure kind of family. And I don't know, I just kind of was like, what's out there? What is this horror stuff? And someone was like, well, you should watch Evil Dead. And I watched it, and it kind of activated something. I was like, this is amazing. It's ridiculous. It's both terrible and fantastic at the same time. And this show is just a continuation of that trilogy. It's not a remake, it's not a reboot, but a continuation. And again, kind of at the time when everyone's doing like a comeback continuation, right? Like I feel like there was a phase, I guess technically, with that Sex and the City continuation that's still going on, but this time our reluctant hero is now an aging, egotistical, politically incorrect buffoon who has to shake off decades of rust to face evil that he's once again unleashed. Now, the real magic of the show is that he's not alone anymore. You know, he's teaming up with Pablo and Kelly, which are two fantastic adds to the cast. And we have Ruby, I guess, it's kind of like antagonist / not antagonist at times, played by Lucy Wallace, who's fantastic in it. Frenemy, yeah.
Frenemy's good.
As they get dragged into the chaos and have to become quite the Deadite slaying force. So this show is just the perfect storm of comedy and horror. It's very slapsticky. It has geysers of blood, insane monster design, and some of the most ridiculous and best one-liners in history. And it's all anchored by the irreplaceable charisma of Bruce Campbell. So for 3 seasons, Starz gave Sam Raimi essentially like carte blanche to do whatever he want, and what we got was a glory, hilarious, and surprisingly heartfelt love letter to the entire Evil Dead franchise. It is quite the groovy ride.
Well said. Damn. I hope I don't win the Wheel of Randomonium, so I don't have to do an intro.
Look, this show, it's kind of like same thing with like Monty Python and stuff. Like these shows or these movies were things that I watched over and over again. Like they're ridiculous. I know everything that's coming, and it's so over the top that for me, it's hard to not bust out laughing whenever gallons of blood are being sprayed all over children at a high school.
If nothing else, like the feeling I got watching it is like, I guess my brain has changed so much post-pandemic, and like in the I know Netflix and streaming has been around for a long time, but like I guess in like the super recent streaming where everything gets like canceled if it doesn't make, like I am so glad the show exists because I don't feel like it could exist today or get made. I was like, who is writing the checks to fund this? Because while it's like low quality, like the sets and like the practical effects and like you said, the gallons of blood, and I'm like, that all costs money. It's like they're not paying actors a lot, but like this is single-handedly supporting teams of people that have like no jobs in today's world, like of making these types of like things. You know what I mean? Like, it looked like everyone had a blast making it. I just can't see anybody writing a check in 2025 to give this show even 1 season, much less 3, which I think I'm glad it exists is what I'm trying to say.
It is interesting to see, like, I feel like there's like an unwritten rule, like children can't have bad things happen to them on TV anymore. And like the scene in season 2 where the Deadite just like smacks the kid into the ceiling fan, just like flies up and smashes into it and dies. I was like, whoa, that was an 8-year-old.
It's like Starz is such a wacky network.
Yeah.
Like this feels so fitting for Starz because it kind of feels like a lot of the other media companies. You can a little bit imagine in your mind like what an HBO show is, or maybe what a Netflix show is, but you're like, what's a Starz original? And it's kind of something like this where it's like, take a swing, like take a chance. Like, and maybe it'll be something great. Maybe it won't be, but it's going to be a whole hell lot of fun.
I also got to say, like, the very first season, there's a couple of After Effects blood splatters that I was like, oh god, that did not age well. Oh god, just the frame rate on that does not look good. And I was like, I'm so glad they got to let's just spray water hoses of blood everywhere. Let's just go with that.
Well, somewhere I was texting Jay on the side. I was like, somewhere in the middle of the first season, maybe even like towards like 70% through, it's like, did they get an increase in budget? Because all the effects went up way in quality. Like basically once they got back to the cabin, I was like, okay, their budget increased because all the deadites looked way better. The cabin looked incredible. Like the atmosphere, like it just seemed like they were saving all their money for like the last 3 or 4 episodes and the first 6 episodes.
It's very possible. I do know that in season 2, we don't know how much blood was actually used over the course of this entire series, but one episode they said that they had 26 gallons for 3 different actors in order to film that one episode. So, I mean, I did an AI extrapolation and it was like, oh, probably somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 gallons of blood were used in the filming of this show. And one thing I gotta say, in the third season that I really appreciated this time through is how much consistent blood splatter from this beginning of the season to the end of the season inside of the house, like, stayed around. Like at the end of it, me and Christy were like, that house had to smell awful. Like, absolutely awful. But you could still see blood splatter from earlier parts in the series or episode, or not even the season, just like up on the ceiling, on the wall, on the couch. Like, the consistency there was so good.
I did appreciate a few times where I realized that they carried over injuries into scenes where I feel like a lot of times shows just forget or don't do it anymore or whatever. I was like, what I really noticed it was when like this is in season 3 when Candy Bar gets beheaded or whatever and like defingered by the symbol, and then when she's in a casket, it's like, of course they sewed her head back on, but they also had like her fingers sewed back on. I was like, that could be very easily like forgotten that her fingers were sliced off, because I had forgotten until I saw the little stitching on the fingers, and I was like, I appreciate the attention to detail. And people, when they get hurt, seem to carry their injuries on for the most part. There was a few times when they were kind of like better all of a sudden, but they did a pretty good job of carrying stuff over.
Okay, so there's only one scene in the entire series that made me grimace. And I'm going to ask you guys to guess what scene that was.
I already know what it is, dude. Getting sucked up that dude's asshole and covered in shit.
Nope.
Yeah.
That did not make me grimace at all.
What?
That was mine.
I knew that was coming.
Whose mind even had this thought of something to do? That bothered me more than when the little like demon baby crawled inside the woman's body and was popping out of her head and vagina.
Using it like a robot.
Like a human
Fucking
mecha.
baby Gundam wing.
But that was the, like everything else is just like, it was a silly, over the top gore, blood. Like the one where he got sucked up and they were making freaking fart sounds and green diarrhea spraying all over. I was like, this is a step too far.
No, that didn't make me grimace. The scene that made me grimace was whenever Ruby broke Kelly's ankle.
Oh, those small potatoes, man.
Dude, but that's the only thing that felt real. Like, that's the only thing. To me, this stuff is so over the top, so ridiculous, so like practical effecty that it doesn't register in that same way. Whenever
that's fair.
When she hit that ankle, like that felt more real than anything I'd seen up to that point, and I just was like, ooh.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that is the thing for me. Like, if I can't watch UFC, I can't watch it because when someone's face like bends, I'm like, oh, like,
Oh yeah.
no, I don't want to see that ever. This, like, even that scene, I knew that was coming, and I was like, this is the scene that breaks Jay if he's just like, I'm done.
Well, I mean, kind of like with you in the picture windows and the cringe humor. Like, if I sense that something gruesome is coming, like I will turn my eyes. I will not watch and just kind of wait until I think it's over. And it wasn't every episode, but I definitely had to do that quite a lot watching this show.
I figured that one was pretty rough. I figured the baby was pretty rough. Is any other notable mentions that you were like, oh no?
I think I suppressed a lot of them. Like, I don't think I could articulate them because I was just like, oh, God, why do people like
The
this?
third next gross one is when his chainsaw got duped up by fat, and that lady was squirting her milk into his face and mouth.
Oh man, yeah, no, there's definitely some pretty gross stuff that goes on in this show. I also love that if you go to Stars, it's listed as a comedy drama, not as a horror.
Like pretty much anytime anybody was missing like half of their head, but they were still going, like that, not good. And I get really grossed out by like intestine stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like, ooh,
You know what? I liked I thought there were some cool monsters in it, like the demon that they summoned in the first season that was supposed to know a lot of things. That dude was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then also
cool.
like the second season, her little grown-up kids turning into shadows, and they were kind of like they looked really good too. Like they looked like cool monsters.
The giant monster at the end too, like the fucking like tester of men.
Yeah. Like what a change, talking about the special effects, from like some of the cringy stuff in the first season to that last sequence where like the tanks are firing at the massive monster thing and like the A-10 warthogs are coming in. Like that was nuts.
And technically they had a fourth season planned. I always thought that it just ended there because that felt like a natural way to end it. But they actually did have a fourth season planned, but Stars finally canceled it.
So
Was it going to be the future thing?
Yeah, it was going to be that continuation. That was going to be the next part. But
That's what I was
Stars
gonna
was like,
ask.
no.
Because I had read that it got canceled, so I was like, did they just film that futuristic ending because it was canceled just to kind of close it off, or?
It's a good way to end.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to end too. But I everything I read was that it was that they were planning to do a continuation story. But I think that at that point it was like, again, the rate of return, right? Like at some point it becomes a business
Doomslayer
decision.
with that thing. I was like, is this the Doomslayer?
Yeah. The whole time it's been Ash. The Doomslayer is Ash.
Is it okay? Am I just trying to be too like English class teachery? But like, he's always wearing blue and red. Like, especially like the first season, he's wearing blue and red a lot. Like, is this supposed to be like a Superman like connection that you're supposed to be making with him in the blue and the red stuff, or is that just like a coincidence because he wears blue and red? I know he wears his blue shirt a lot. And it's like his character thing, but a lot in the first season he's wearing like a red jacket with it too.
I think it's happenstance more than anything, but I mean, he is pretty impervious, you know. I don't know. I've not ever seen anything quite like a reference to him being Superman, but I will say when he gets to the end and he's like, I just wanted to hang out and drink a beer. Like I didn't ask for this. Like that was pretty. Like he was pretty like, well, like, oh, you know, I'm just handling it. I'm just this dude. I'm a guy's guy. And then at the end he's just like, I didn't want any of this shit.
Yeah, that moment killed me because there's a lot of Michigan specific references in this show, and you had one in that moment where he points to his palm of, I'm just from Elk Grove, Michigan, because that's the thing people from Michigan do. They will show you their palm and point to where their town is.
That's funny. I did not know that.
Yeah, because he's got his like mechanical hand at that point. So, you know, for the first time in 30 years, he's got a hand to point to.
It's so good. That is funny. His dad was pretty good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those scenes where I assume you couldn't watch when he got run over. Ashley, there's something I have to tell you.
I knew that was coming every time. I liked it when he drowned him in the bathtub too. There were a few moments in the show where I did actually like crack up like chuckling, which is pretty rare. I feel like I don't usually get to the point of actually laughing at something these days too much, but for some reason the sperm bank fight got me. I was just so at him trying not to get hit by the semen.
When he came back through with everybody, he was like, watch out, it might be sticky. Oh, man. No, to me, this is one of those shows. I love the movies. I love the show. It's a fun ride for me. And so I really enjoyed it. But
here's my one question.
Yes.
We haven't really talked about the order of things happening in the show. I don't think we could because it's too confusing. But, like, they go back in time and they change stuff enough to where, I mean, he had to cut it off again, but he got his hand back. Pablito came back to life. So, like, why is Brujo, his uncle, dead again? Because they would have not ever gone and met his Brujo, so he wouldn't be dead because they never would have had that whole experience in the first part. Like after they changed the past. That's the only thing that like all the other stuff. I'm like, okay, let me write it off. Like things are just mostly the same but kind of different. And also, like, why does his town still think of him as an axe murderer? Whereas, like in this future, like he would never have found the book in the cabin and killed his friends because the cabin was destroyed. So I don't. The time travel stuff kind of whacked me out a little bit.
That's fair. I'd have to like really look and think about it because I haven't really thought about. I thought that the time travel stuff. I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
Well, Pablo said nothing really changed, but also like it did because he came back to life and he had his hand back for a temper. So it changed enough for that to change, but then nothing else changed. I don't know.
I think you're thinking too much.
Yeah. Shoot first, think later.
Think never.
Think never.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think of Ball as a character, and why was it just like the normal version of Tommy Wiseau?
I liked Ball, but I just can't. Man, that's the one episode I'm like, why every show that has more than 2 seasons has to have a freaking, like, I'm in a mental asylum and they want me to think I'm crazy and I have to get past this thing. Like, why is that? I'm tired of that trope. I hate it. Which, like, thankfully it was just one quick episode, and maybe even like by the middle or third part of the episode he was breaking out of it. But I was just like, I get so annoyed when those types of episodes pop up every time there's like a psychological element to a show.
Maybe it's because we just did the Penguin and they did the same shit badly in that one.
Yeah.
That, like, when it came up here, I was like, I'm a little tired of this.
It's fair. I mean, I knew what was coming. I knew we had the puppet coming, so I was pretty excited about the chainsaw puppet ridiculousness.
Maybe it's just because I had Aaron in my mind watching this show because I knew he likes it so much, but I kept having Trailer Park Boys on the brain watching this show with Conky, and then the guy who played Ball, he was great. He was absolutely great, but I kept seeing him as Sebastian Bach from Trailer Park Boys with his like, oh, I've got the train, boys. You're going to send me the cigarettes. So,
oh my gosh!
Apologies to all of the performers here.
I don't know. Like I said, the show they're B-list movies. This is a B-list show, but for delivering a B-list experience, I love it. It's a fun time. But I also have always said that I love shitcoms and things like that, where the shows are not really great, but they're awful and wonderful in their own way.
It took me a while to kind of engage with it on its level, because at first I was just so turned off by the gore, because that's just me. But like the silliness of it won me over. Bruce Campbell won me over, and like the turning point for me was where he goes to like Jacksonville in his mind. Like that was greatness, and what sealed it was the beginning of season 2 where they're actually in Jacksonville, and Ash is just chainsawing through a keg of beer while the whole bar is like cheering for him. And I'm thinking, this has to be a dream sequence.
Nope.
Because like there's no way that like Ash is actually this successful in real life. But no, that's just life in Jacksonville as it's portrayed in Ash versus Evil Dead. I was like, this is amazing.
I will also say there is definitely a little bit more of a silly, ridiculous turn in season 2. Like, I feel like season 1 is still like, okay, so the first Evil Dead movie is not trying to be silly. It's not trying to be funny. It is a 1982
That's what I was about to ask. Like,
horror film.
That?
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the second one, so this is what happens is apparently Sam Raimi is not able to quote unquote, I don't know if it's get the rights to or something. There's an issue that he has to do the Evil Dead 2 and he wants to kind of like reboot it. So like,
yeah. So he did Evil Dead Taylor's version.
Well, so there's Evil Dead 2 and it's a reboot,
quasi sequel, right?
It's a quasi reboot sequel because like Ash goes out in the first movie to the cabin with his girlfriend, his best friend, and her girlfriend and his sister, and that's the first movie. And then the second movie, Ash and his girlfriend alone go out to the cabin, and she turns into a deadite because he reads from the book, and he has to kill her. And that's the one where he cuts off his own hand, gets a chainsaw. And then the daughter of the archaeologist shows up with her husband and then 2 local yokels, and then crazy things ensue. But at the end of it, the archaeologist's daughter uses an incantation to try and send the evil back from where it came. And Ash gets sucked into the portal, and he wakes up in the 1300s. And so then there's this whole movie of ridiculous adventure in the 1300s where Ash is basically having to fight the Deadites again, but it's, knights and shining armor and stuff like that. And at the end, they're able to send him back to his home time, and that's how the series ends. And so in the show, they just kind of are like merging and mixing and showing different sequences from all the movies, and just kind of treating it as this kind of like pseudo like canon. But like they don't even consistently do, like, even from 2 to 3, there's inconsistencies in the story because they just change things based off of where they decided to go with the movie. So it's really a weird trilogy of movies because they're not really great sequels of each other. They just kind of are, let's tell another story with Ash and the Evil Dead in a different setting.
It's funny you say that because if you'll notice, they did not make any reference to Army of Darkness in season 1 or 2. Because they, like you said, they didn't have the rights to it for one reason or another. So that's why you don't get any reference to it until season 3 when he starts to talk about, actually, I went back in time a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. So no, it's funny the way that the IP developed and became even a thing, which I think adds to the cult, campy, classic nature of it. Mm-hmm. But 2 is whenever the slapstick aspect enters into the fray. And it continues on into Army of Darkness. There's definitely a couple of sequences that they just fucking pulled from Army of Darkness. Because, like, whenever the tiny Ash gets inside of Ash, that happens in Army of Darkness. Does the exact same thing. Just pours hot water down into his mouth to boil the small version of himself that crawled in.
Now, a counterpoint to the Asylum episode for me was the episode where the car was haunted.
Oh.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Cars driving the kids around, and like they're doing all kinds of you're just doing car pranks.
Yep.
Just a couple guys to do car pranks with. Like that was a really, really great episode.
Car pranks.
And it's the same. It's the Sam Raimi car. Like apparently, it's the car that like he had when he was a young person.
Yep.
So like that's the car that Uncle Ben drives in Spider-Man. Like you'll see it in almost every Sam Raimi movie.
Yep.
I'm assuming not The Quick and the Dead because that was a Western. But we'll have Sam on next episode. He can tell us about it.
Ted Raimi was really good at it. I laughed a lot with his sequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of also little like Raimi-esque, references and things like that. The shot where like the evil is moving through the forest and it's like turning at different angles, that is like quintessential Raimi cinematography. So like he was the way he did that goes back to the very first Evil Dead, is he put the camera on a 2x4 and him and another buddy are holding each edge of the 2x4 and they're walking and tilting it up and down and things like that to get the effect. But it's just brute force filmmaking back then.
That's one of the reasons why I had to punch out of watching this on Pluto and pay the $2 to Starz to get no ads. Because in one of those early episodes, it's a scene with the cop from season 1 and her partner who's turning into a deadite and back and forth as this light bulb is swinging back and forth.
Yeah.
And like the light is changing on his face, kind of like what you're talking about. And it was really scary and really affecting. And then smash cut to darkness. Limu, emu, and Doug. Like it ruined it. Like even for like whatever enjoyment I was getting out of being afraid was kind of ruined by the ads.
Oh, that's so good.
You got my $2. Sorry.
And there were a lot of ads. It's not like just 4. It's like 8.
Yeah.
And they're 3 minutes apiece. I was like, it's turning this 30 minutes into a full hour.
I apologize for that. I will say that there is
No.
There is definitely. I feel like we talked about this earlier. We grew up in an era where we did not really appreciate how good television ads used to be, because like I don't know if you remember like Gushers or Nintendo 64 or any of the wild shit that was marketed to us as kids. Commercials today are all garbage. They're all fucking hot garbage. I honestly think that it's actually, let's make them so bad that it makes you want to pay for a ad-free experience.
Oh, speaking of good ads, like what movie did I go to? I went to a movie recently and there was a trailer for Zootopia 2. And I was like, this might be the best trailer I've seen for a movie in a long time. Because it wasn't even a trailer. It was like the characters, and they weren't even scenes from the movie. It was just like the characters in different situations, like talking to each other. And like it was kind of zooming around, showing you different people, like dancing or like saying stuff. And I was like, this is like the future of trailers. I don't know. I'll have to Google it and send it to y'all. But I was like, I guess I'm so used to just super spoily almost the whole movie in a trailer thing that just like a trailer that wasn't even scenes from a movie just like seemed so original and fresh for some reason. That just reminded me of that when you were talking about how bad things are now.
The one that gets me is when you see the commercial for like Wegovy or one of the other weight loss shots, and it's a bunch of people who are like still 40, 50 pounds overweight, and they're like, I've lost 20 pounds and I'm keeping it off. I'm like, these are rough commercials, guys. These are rough.
I guess everyone's on it. There are no fat celebrities anymore. It's like
yeah, but when you start to look like Skeletor,
like, wow, everyone's like thin now.
Yeah, but there's some of them that are starting to look like sunken, like their faces.
Well, this little buccal fat removal stuff is just ruining people's faces. Like, I don't even know what it is, but it makes people.
Are you talking about the thing that happened to Wednesday?
I saw a picture of her like in that headline, but I don't know. I feel like she still looks kind of normal, but just like a lot of people look like Erin Moriarty from The Boys. She looks so different.
Yeah, she does.
Which, I mean, who am I to say? Like, it's kind of like, it's not fair, but it's also fair because you're a celebrity. So it's like you open yourself up to being judged by your looks, but that's also like what's causing you to change your looks. So it's a vicious cycle, but dang, I just wish less people got plastic surgery. I just, for some reason, I don't know what it is, like the middle part on hair on girls just doesn't do it for me. I just haven't found anybody where I'm like, parting your hair straight down the middle, I think it's a good idea. I like, just needs to be to the side.
You like bangs. You like the bangs, is that what you're saying?
Not even bangs. We just like the part not right in the middle of your head. I don't know why we're talking about this.
Big fan of New Girl, right?
Yeah, no one can tell that Zooey Deschanel without her glasses and bangs. Well, okay. Do you have a Bobby? Do you have a Donna? Like any thoughts there?
You know, like that meme where it's like Chris Pratt is just like, at this point, I don't know whatever this is, and I'm too embarrassed to ask. It's like, I'm not sure I fully understand what a Bobby means and what a Donna means. I just let y'all talk about it every episode. I'm like, oh yeah,
well,
for sure.
Donna was awful, and I hated every minute of her being on the screen. And Bobby was awful, and I loved every minute of him being on the screen. So that's how I always picture it in my head. Jay, do you see that differently?
No, like that's pretty much it. Like maybe even without the awfulness, it was just Bobby was so much fun, even though he was like dumb and
over the top.
A lot of the stuff he didn't make any sense. But I liked him,
yeah.
And like Donna just pissed me
just
off.
Awful. Like just
so Bobby probably has to be his dad, Lee Majors.
Yeah, that's good. That's so good.
I think Ted Raimi might be my Bobby. With, like, just that whole energy of, like, how do we get a whole bunch of teenagers in this bar? Let's throw a party with ketamine. Like, he had big It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia energy.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. Oh, my gosh. And then his whole sequence with Cheryl at the end, that was ridiculous, too. He's, like, sneaking into her house to jerk off.
I don't think I had any Donnas. Like, I don't really think any of the characters like pissed me off.
I didn't like the cop in the first season. I felt like she was like not a great part of the story, and I'm kind of glad that she got killed off pretty quickly. Lulu, yeah, I agree. Outside of that, all the other main cast. You know what? The daughter got a little bit annoying with the whining and crying in the third season.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
That's the probably closest to a Donna that I got. That I was just like, okay. Like, everyone else has adapted to all the blood. What's your problem?
Yeah, all the stuff you're seeing, and you're like, still quite like I get questioning it before you see your best friend turn into a deadite and kill your mom with a symbol. But everything after that, like, come on, girl. I don't know. I don't have a thing I can say why. I didn't really like Kelly's actress. She wasn't bad. I don't have a problem with what she was doing, but for some reason I just didn't like her nearly as much as Ash and Pablo.
I loved Kelly. Like, I felt like she was almost like the, how do I articulate it? Like, the best part of Ash being shoot first, ask questions later, but like with a little bit more contemplation before she starts shooting.
Mm-hmm.
She was definitely the most badass of the characters.
Mm-hmm. She also, though, in the same similar fashion, just decided to run in and fight Ruby and get killed, right? Like, so she also kind of didn't think through that one very much. That was a little bit.
That's true.
Little emotional reaction there.
She could have done it if she would have just stabbed her with a knife as soon as she blew 3 holes in her with a shotgun.
Also true. But did y'all see Pablo's death coming? Because that definitely caught me off guard the first time.
No.
I was like,
I saw Ball taking him over, but I did not see him getting split in half before that. So that really threw me off the thing before it ended up happening again.
Oh man, when they cut the page out of his skin, I didn't like that at all. Jesus.
Dude, Pablo was like the character that got shit on the whole time. Everything bad happened to Pablo. It's like, oh, let's get him the book face, and then he's got other problems, and then he's so many problems.
See, but I feel like that's why like season 4 needed to happen, is so Pablo could have his badass payout, right? Like he was on that track to being like the ultimate brujo, and like we just kind of ended him kind of finally getting to that point. But I do agree, Pablo definitely took the shit into the stick a lot in this show. I can't remember, one of my favorite bits in the very first season was whenever like Ash said something like, you know, even if you are Mexican, I'm not Mexican. That's the spirit.
Margaritas are on Pablo, and why?
I loved Pablo. Like, you didn't want anything bad to happen to him. He was just like a little puppy you want to take care of.
Yep.
No.
And everything bad did happen to him. When his mouth appeared on Kelly's leg. I'm sorry, Tony, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, there's so many lines, but like, what are some of y'all's favorite like lines?
Oh man.
I don't know, I just thought of the one where it's just like, don't anybody touch anything in my room except to tidy up. He said like 3 times that episode. I told you guys not to mess with my room except to tidy up.
The powerful vagina sticks out. Like that was pretty funny.
He's like, I've never been prouder.
Shoot First Think Never is clearly one of the best ones. Like that could be a drop. See.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I hated that freaking morgue scene, but then afterwards, like, never say the words ass and hole around me ever again.
It's like a roller coaster, but with more blood and less cotton candy. That was pretty good. Oh man. You're like the son I never had, and for good reason. Oh man, no, yeah, it's good, but like you're right, Tony.
Like, I got 8 inches. I know how to make it feel like 5. And then when she's like, I didn't finish, he's like, that's what they all say.
Like, credit to Tony. I think you told me this when we were texting about this show, that it's kind of the perfect Halloween show. Like, if you're having your friends over to like watch some spooky shit, just have some fun. Like that's a great show to put on.
Yeah,
especially
really
because like
perfect.
you just stop at some point if you need to, right? Like whereas sometimes movies just too much of a commitment.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was fun times. I really enjoyed it. Are we ready to do some scoring?
Well, before we do, Let me ask one serious question, which is, what do you see Ash versus Evil Dead's ideology to be? What do you see its, if you will, its political alignment to be? Like, what do you think this show has to say about like emotion and what place that has in decision making?
Well, emotion, where emotion has to say in decision making, I go back to the shoot first, think never. Mm-hmm. And I would say that, weirdly, like, if you take this to a philosophical place, then this is a very Zen philosophy. Because, to quote the great philosopher Maynard, overanalyzing separates the body from the mind. And as the whole sequence with the Brujo and in Jacksonville and all that stuff, the thing that Ash comes to with the shoot first, think never is just be here now, exist. And by just being, by just doing, then you're always going to do what you need to do. And so that, to me, is a very Zen philosophy of when, Zen is, not peeling potatoes and thinking about everything you got to do all day. Zen is peeling potatoes and thinking about peeling potatoes. So to me, I would say that it is a very Zen kind of philosophy. And then from that, I would say probably a little libertarian. Let me be me. Let me do my thing. Like, I don't give a shit about anyone else as long as they don't give a shit about me. Like, just let me go to Jacksonville, drink my beers, and party. Mm-hmm. And I would say that on top of that, a layer of hedonism. So,
because again, I'm thinking too much here, which you can't do when you watch this show. But it was, to put it through the lens of our current reality. This is a person who acts, who in his mind gets things done, and it doesn't really matter what's broken or who gets hurt, just as long as he escapes the other side. And it felt in that way a little almost authoritarian, almost like pumping up the strongman image of there's only one man who can solve this deadite problem, and it might be the wrong man for the job, but he's the only one who can do it, and he's not gonna have a plan for it. He's just gonna jump in, solve the problem, and all that matters is that the problem is solved.
Authoritarian generally is, you all have to do it my way, and I feel that Ash is more, I'm going to do it my way, and your way's not going to work. And so I would push back on authoritarian. I would say that it's more like the philosophy of the flawed hero, right? Like, he's not Superman. He's not Captain America. He's kind of a shitty guy, right? Like, he's like, if we're really analyzing him as a human being, it's he's just kind of a selfish, do what I want to. And I would almost bring it to Übermensch because of Nietzsche's, whole idea that the Übermensch is not driven by the morals of society, but by his own kind of moral. And I would say that kind of squarely hits Ash. It doesn't really matter what anyone else says is right or wrong. Ash knows what he needs to do and does it. Heroism is an action, not a state of being, right? Like, you do. And also, I think you can take it to another level that you don't necessarily have to be good to fight evil. Right? Like, this is a everyman type hero that any individual could see or see themselves in a certain aspect of him. Like, he's just a guy. He's just supposed to be this guy, but he's got this prophecy and this ridiculous situation that he's been put into. But I do think that it's definitely masculine. I definitely think that it is like the machismo, and I think that even like that was, El Jefe, like there's kind of a machismo that goes with that kind of thing. Yeah. I do think that the corollary to that, kind of like the other side of the coin, is that the past kind of is always chasing him, because he's always a live in the now. He's having to fight the demons of his past, the choices that he's made, the opening and reading of the book. And that is a kind of a pulling back against the philosophy of Ash of I'm just going to live in the now. I'm going to shoot first, think never, because if at any point, even like in the Insane Asylum episode, it's like, you did this, you killed all these people, you did all these things, look at this, ashy slashy. And so like you kind of get him trying to live this philosophy while the world is constantly trying to push back and say, look what you've done, look how terrible, you're awful, we hate you. And it ultimately is a pseudo story of redemption, right? Where, he's like, you guys aren't going to understand this, but I'm going to save you all anyways. And it ultimately, he becomes this like town favorite or town hero, but things don't get better for the town. Right? Like things get worse. So it's almost like he's also kind of bringing a certain albatross with him everywhere he goes, that no matter what, the evil follows him. So if he was truly altruistic, the only way to prevent that would be to go live in the cabin by your woods or kill yourself. But instead he's like, nope, opening a store in downtown.
Well, maybe it's not so much authoritarianism as it is that he is such a reflection of rugged American individualism.
Agreed.
And like maybe it's because I'm watching this through the lens of the modern end, having watched Spider-Man, but man, does Sam Raimi love an American flag as an image. Mm-hmm. Like every house they go into in this show, there's an American flag waving on the front porch. And then, when I was watching Spider-Man, there's all those scenes in the backyards between MJ and Peter's house, and every single house has an American flag in it. And of course, those, that first movie came out 2002.
I was gonna say,
so that
wasn't there like promotion of Spider-Man between the Twin Towers before 9/11? I feel like there was that actual promotion existed. Right,
and that was switched to instead the big triumphant moment is Spider-Man landing on an American flag. So like this is an image that plays hugely in I think Sam Raimi's work. So you've got to kind of think about like what is he trying to say about America here? And I think like what you said about Ash there is absolutely spot on about how he's wrestling with these demons of his past, and sometimes well, sometimes not well, but nothing ever gets better.
Yeah, nothing ever gets better. Well, I think that it gets back to number one, redemption is not a easy road, or it's not a clean road. It's a messy road. And I think also like from the idea of looking at this from like Ash representing a part of America, I would also say that this gets back to like, self-doubt is not really shown, but we see at the end that he's like, man, this is just rough to get through and all these things I have to deal with and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, it's like, if he gets bogged down in that, then does that necessarily push him forward? Does that deal with the evil? Does that deal with the Necronomicon? It's almost like he doesn't have time to. So I think that we see him presented as a flawed hero. We can see, like, if you're taking a corollary to the United States is operated as a flawed superpower. We have our own past. We have our own mistakes. It's constantly something that we are fighting or dealing with or addressing, whether that's, the regimes that we changed in the 80s or whether it's the, people that we, mistreated in the 1880s. But that is also, I think that America does a lot of good things, and it sometimes blows up things that shouldn't and hurts people that shouldn't, but it also does a lot of, or has in the past before we shut down USA, done a lot of things to help the world make it a better place. So this is coming out 10 years ago. It's, I think, a very different time period that this is coming out, but I definitely think that it has some aspects of exploring what it means to be a flawed hero, what it means to have baggage, what it means to try and find your way through your situation. But it does very much take a hyper American individualist way to do it. I think that Pablo and Kelly represent a softening of that. And kind of as the thing goes on, it goes from, a wolf pack of one to the ghost beaters, right? So I do think that it presents a evolution of the individual hero into a team player by the end. But I mean, what do you guys think?
I don't think.
Like if this was a reality play, then Ash's attitude would it would bite him in the ass, but it kind of never really does. Like his style doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily borne out as the right way to approach things, but neither is it ever like his comeuppance.
Yeah. I mean, but isn't that also more true about the real world? That people, like Sunny in Philadelphia, they always get their comeuppance, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's part of the bit. That's part of the joke, is that their things always lead to some type of comeuppance, and it doesn't really kind of like nets out at the end. Whereas in the real world, that is not true. That does not. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, evil wins. Sometimes the bad guys don't lose. Like, that is human history. And then they rewrite it and tell you that they're the good guys. So, I don't know. To me, in that sense, in a weird way, this ridiculous, unrealistic show harnessed a little bit of realism in that sometimes bad things happen and they don't necessarily work out. A lot of people died in Elk Grove.
Is it consistent in the movies, in the show, where it's like, are there any law enforcement consequences? It's like, I don't know. Like, even when they don't believe in demons, it's like he's killing people, but he's never in jail, or even like cops aren't stopping him in the street or arresting him hardly ever. Like a very few times there's a cop tries. I guess the first season that cop is hunting him hard, and he's like the suspect in the murder. But like after that, it's just like, okay, he's like there, and I guess enough people believe him, especially in Elk Grove. Like, he's just never questioned even.
Well, so in the movies, the first movie 100% takes place at the cabin. The second movie takes place 100% at the cabin, except for the last 30 seconds he falls into 1300s. The last movie, it's in the 1300s, except for the last 2 minutes he's back at the shop mart, telling the story of how he got sent back in time and all that stuff. So I guess there's technically not any ever law enforcement ramifications. So, but there was not really any, time, I guess, to work that into the show or in the movie. They surely tried a little bit to arrest him. It's just ultimately he was like, see, it's demons. I'm not killing people. They're demons.
Yeah. He reminds me of, did y'all ever watch that show? What is it, like? Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
We did that. We did that on the show, didn't we, Jay?
I was gonna ask if we did that on the show. Y'all did the one where he's like with Elijah Wood with the dog, right? I wasn't there for that one.
Did we lose Jay?
Did we lose him? Anyway, on that show, like, there's that assassin that just like operates.
Yep.
In the flow of the universe. Like, that's kind of like what Ash reminds me of. It's just like, he obviously gets hurt by demons, but he just like always like randomly kills them, either by luck or like skill, or half of it's luck, but he's just like going through it. And then Ruby's like, God damn it, I need that freaking Ash guy, because for some reason everything dies around him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that this is, I don't know. It's you can find and explore a lot of different philosophies and a lot of different things. I don't think that this is necessarily critiquing that much about actual American society, because I think that a lot of these things trace all the way back to Ash and, Evil Dead 2 and in Army of Darkness. A lot of the machismo, a lot of the Ubermensch kind of aspect to Ash, where he's kind of deciding his own morality, his own philosophy of how to deal with stuff, and he's not going to let anybody else, tell him what to do. I kind of feel like all that just stems from the character itself.
I'm not sophisticated enough to have any overarching opinions on what it may mean. Let me ask you this, since I didn't watch the movies, so I just came in basically watching the show. I guess I watched, the 2013 remake.
Yes,
I think that
is an actual.
That wasn't really as comedy. Like, that wasn't as dark comedy. That was kind of like,
nope.
So that's really my only exposure. But
I've also seen that, and I had a hard time watching that. That one, like I said, like when it comes to like torture porn, that's actually like trying to make it feel like you're watching someone being tortured. I struggle. That's rough for me. But if it's ridiculous, over the top, outrageous, then It doesn't bother me at all.
I just was ask, did it feel like there was a lot of good? Like I hadn't even seen those movies, but I felt like wow, like I feel like the cabin must have been exactly like it. Like especially the first season when we went back to the cabin, it's like I'm like this must be like they must have just done such a good job recreating it, even though I didn't really have a frame of reference. And I thought they even did good CGI of like I'm assuming that's just what his girlfriend looked like, or maybe it's not.
No, they you'd have to go back and look at Linda. They did decent. Like they used the exact same actress for Cheryl. Like that is the sister from the first movie. So that was Cheryl. She was playing herself. I don't think Linda was Linda. I can't remember. I'd have to look into that. But I do know this is a fun fact from the Evil Dead movie, like the one you saw in 2013. They built 2 cabins, and one of them was completely like detachable, like move every wall, take every piece out. And again, with the consistency on the blood, they splattered everything and filmed it, and then like made sure that in every scene that it actually was this like no change, no difference. You know what I mean? Like it was consistent the whole way through. So I also wonder if like the reason why the 3rd season had a little bit money, maybe like Sam Raimi had a little extra money from the 2013 Evil Dead being filmed and getting licensed or whatever. Apparently the 2nd one was a little bit more like dark humor added in, but was still pretty brutal, and they're making a 3rd one right now.
I heard that Evil Dead Rises was good. I never saw it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it's really good.
When I was Googling about this show, I saw a recent rumor from like last November that are they considering making like 2 more movies, and then maybe even with like Bruce Campbell and
I have not heard that. That is interesting.
Or maybe not with Bruce Campbell, but I feel like I saw they're like planning on making 2 more movies or something.
Yeah, I think I've seen that Bruce Campbell has been public that he's not going to play Ash anymore.
Oh, this was a year ago.
Also, I apologize for my absence. I'm not as young as Ash used to be. I had to go pee.
Yeah, Ash. He said, or Bruce Campbell said he's not willing to play the character anymore because of his age and stuff like that. One consistency that I loved is in the 2nd movie at the end, whenever he sees like the horror of the evil being revealed, a streak of his hair turns bright white, like down the side. And like, there's a couple of times where he just grabs like shoe polish and streaks it across that part of his head to make sure that it doesn't look like the white hair's there.
As a fan of the original film series, was the show like was it a satisfying continuation of the original series?
Yeah, like I said, it was a love letter to us who love the ridiculous, campy outrageousness of the original and the weird masculine bravado of Ash while being slightly incompetent at everything he does. So it's for me, these 3 seasons are a fantastic corollary to the 3 movies. And me and Christy, when we first I think we been dating for like a year, we watched them all on Halloween, we watched the movies and we went into the show, and we had a great time watching this ridiculous series together. So I got lots of good memories of watching this show, and a lot of those things were probably the reasons why this has so much nostalgia for me, and how much I enjoy it is just getting to enjoy it with all these different people and laugh and stuff like that.
I've had something similar recently because my brother's been watching The Return. So about like once a month, he calls me. He's like, "What the fuck was that?"
You could have asked if David Lynch was dead, and be like, "Yeah, he is." You could put that in there. He's a deadite now. Was
this like Samara Weaving's first role in the first season? I was like, how'd they get a big? Maybe she wasn't big yet. I was like, she's like probably the biggest actress in the whole series that you see. But
so what is she from? I don't know what else she's in.
I think she's in a couple like horror movies, like Ready or Not or something like that.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
I think Ready or Not is like the big one.
She was a main role in Smilf.
What? What is what does the S stand for? I get assuming M still stands for mom.
Single.
Oh, single mom.
You know what? We should watch this show. It's it's executive produced by Lee Eisenberg and Gene Stupnitsky. who is one of my favorite creators. He's the guy who made Hello Ladies and wrote most of like the best episodes of The Office.
This is crazy. She's also related to Hugo Weaving. That's her uncle.
Oh, I love
really?
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah. Also, the picture of her covered in blood, I remember it went viral back during the first Trump presidency. It's like some ridiculous, like someone claiming that she was like beat up at some protest at a rally or something. And I remember like, that's from Ash vs. Evil Dead, you assholes.
The Nazis.
Oh, single mom is losing faith is, I guess, what this stands for.
That's funny. Oh, she was in Bill and Ted Face the Music. That's where I know her from. Not a great movie.
Well, we're ready to give some scores to Ash vs. Evil Dead?
Absolutely.
I think
I need
so.
to go last, though.
He needs to know how far to bring up the average.
I'll lead off.
Yeah, I get it.
I think for everybody who's listened to this show or knows me, knows that there's only so high I can go on a show like this, because like I can't do gore, and even when it's fun, there's only so much I can take. And I think that ceiling for me is going to be at a 5. But this show gets all 5 of those, because apart from the gore, apart from the scary, man, what a fun ride. Loved Bruce Campbell, loved Pablo, loved Kelly, and I especially loved Lucy Lawless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Just the perfect role of like, is she good? Is she bad? Is she a little bit of both? Doesn't matter. She was great. So 5 gallons of blood.
There you go.
5
gallons
Nice.
of blood, or 5 dead bodies that have had their people's heads shoved up their anuses. So.
Let's go gallons of blood. How about you, Tony?
Yeah, it's hard because, like, luckily I think, obviously, like, you can appreciate it for what it is as a person. I feel like you're open-minded, and I feel like I find myself in that same category where it's like, yeah, I can appreciate, like, you have to be open-minded to appreciate the level of gore and the dark humor and the campiness, or else you're going to think it's stupid. So I feel like the demographic that will truly enjoy it for what it is has to be really small. So that makes it hard to rate it. Like, because, like, would I tell anybody that I know outside of y'all, oh, go watch this? Like, maybe one other person that I think would be able to, like, put that aside and either not find it stupid or too gross, like, because it's not stupid or too gross, but I just feel like it'd be hard. So I'll have to go with a 6 just to be a little bit above J. But, like, for me, I really enjoyed it. Like, if you want what it offers, I think it offers the peak of that. But I just don't think, like, that demo is very big.
Mm-hmm. Just looking at the number of viewers of each episode, there's only one episode in the entire series that breaks 500,000. When it came out.
I was like, that's the other thing. I was like, how can what I was talking about at the beginning, how could this be made? It's like they could not have been getting the viewership compared to the cost of making this show. Like,
No, this was a labor of love, if anything, and the fact that it got 3 seasons was phenomenal. And for me, like, I'm not going to give it a perfect 10 because there's definitely shows out there that are better, but this is a 9 in my heart. Like, there's nothing about this show I don't love. Even the worst parts, the bad parts, the poorly done parts. It's like watching Twin Peaks, right? There's a reason for it. It fits into the overall B-listness of this show. So this is a 9 for me. It's a ton of fun. It's absolutely everything both of you said. It is a very specific type of show for a very specific type and group of people. And I think that that's why it's kind of a cult classic, right? Like, not everybody goes to theater and watches, The Room and quotes all the lines and things like that. So to me, this kind of fits into that category of, like, unique, weird pop culture, where there are people who've seen it that love it and like embrace its absolutely outrageous presentation of itself. I forgot to mention this earlier. I went and saw Evil Dead the musical on 3 different occasions, and phenomenal, fantastic, excellent musical. But if you're in the first 2 rows of the theater, whenever it's being played, you're in the splash zone, and they give you like ponchos to wear. So anywhere that you see this IP, it is living up to its ridiculousness, and definitely one of my favorite experiences when it comes to, shit TV.
Yeah, I read on the most reliable source of information in the world, Wikipedia, that when they first when they first debuted the musical, the show started at like 11 p.m. to like mimic the midnight movie kind of mystique of it.
That's pretty cool. I saw it in Vegas, and like the first thing that happened was that Deadite walked down stage, was doing a little like warm up, and there's like some kids with their parents, like clearly under the age of like 13, there to watch the show. And he's like, hey, this show is an adult show. So kids over that table, repeat after me. Fuck, shit, ass, cunt. And then he looks at the parents like, your fault. Walks off stage.
I love Vegas.
I love Vegas. But that was a great performance, great fun time. And there's definitely a song, like the big song in that is called What the Fuck Was That?
Well, if you were to pick the most auspicious 3-digit score for a horror series, what do you think that score would be?
666.
And we have our composite score is 6.6 repeat.
I mean, that's a 666. It's perfect score. Perfect score.
Yeah. How fitting.
How fitting. That was great.
Beautifully fitting. So that's that ranks pretty decently well amongst the show's offerings. It is equal to The Haunting of Hill House, Last of Us Season 1, Shogun Season 1, Miracle Worker Season 2, just above its companion piece Detroiters, just after Tokyo Vice.
Special recognition here. I'm going to be watching Friendship this upcoming weekend with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that.
I have. I'm interested to see what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I'm really curious about it because the more that Detroiters has sat with me, the more I've enjoyed it. Like I gotta give credit where credit is due. There's a lot of cringe in that, but fuck, that show was funny.
Well, shall we pick a new show?
Onto the wheel of randomonium. It's gonna be another drop. All right, so we have our 3 shows. I have chosen Common Side Effects on HBO. It's a new Mike Judge film exploring the ridiculous world of pharmaceutical and naturopathic medicine and the underbelly that seeks to stomp out competition. I've only watched 1 episode of it, but it looks really interesting. What'd you got, Jay?
Interesting. I've got a show called Adolescence. It's a British miniseries about a 13-year-old boy who is accused of murder, and I think the primary kind of thrust of it is about the toxic nature of social media on all of our lives. So, looking forward to it.
When you were in college, did they all say don't post it on the internet that you don't want people to see because all your employers are going to see it in the future? Because I feel like everyone has forgot that lesson.
Like, I was in college early enough that that didn't come until a little later.
Dude, when I was in college, they were saying that shit. Like, my teachers were like, "Hey, don't be a dumbass. Don't post it on the internet. You don't want people to see." All right, Tony, what about you? You've got Murderbot. What is
My
that?
offering is Murderbot. It's on Apple TV. I think it's also a dark comedy. Probably not in the same vein as Evil Dead, but it's a futuristic show that tells a story of a security construct who has hacked his own governor module to gain free will, but only wants to be left alone to watch TV. And I guess there's also it also says he provides security for people, so I guess there's a lot of dangerous situations or something. It probably has something to do with the title Murderbot, but I've heard really good things about it. So,
all right, well, let's shuffle up and spin. Boom.
Spin.
Let's spin the McConaughey wheel.
All right.
It's going to be Common Side Effects.
Which
Beautiful.
also means I am removed from the wheel for next time.
Ooh, that is true.
So double tapping an Aaron.
Next time, we will be back with a review of Mike Judge's Common Side Effects. Well, this has been a whole ton of fun talking with you two guys about one of the most fun shows I've watched in a while, Ash vs. Evil Dead. So thank you very much for coming along with the journey with me, gentlemen.
Absolutely. And can I just say, the fact that we unintentionally got 666 is hilarious. Like, that is that is outrageously good.
That wasn't even a bit.
Very Ash versus Evil Dead. You're right. Like, just unintentionally, we did it. It just happened. We shot first and thought never.
It's perfect. All right, well, we'll be in that. Ugh, man, I should stop trying to drink like Ash. So, all right. We will be back next time. And until then, I will remember what's the catchphrase at the end? Fuck.
We'd like to thank our producer, Dick Wolf. And
We like to. I'm forgetting all my.
Upcoming cruise and also airship Zeppelin tour of Europe.
Well, we will let the mystery be. Good night, everybody.
Who shot you?